Andy Brooks, captain of Bellevue Green 4th 11. Pleased to meet you.
That's recording. So, what are you looking forward to? What are you? If you had to narrow it down, what things are you most looking to do in the fours?
To be honest, two things. One is that playing with some chaps that I've played with over the years, as as our careers sort of come to wane down, but also a lot of the youngsters, John, that are coming up through. Some of which I've helped coach over the years, and I still do the coaching, and it's nice to sort of like see the next. First 11, in 5-6 years' time or whatever, coming through, and just be enjoyable to play with some of these youngsters and sort of help bring them along, really.
Yeah, no, but I think I remember years back. It started out as it was very, very clearly described as a dads and lads team. We've got the audio in any case. If there's a total disaster, so it would take a real disaster to lose both of them. Right. Okay, beginning of the 2022 season.
Yeah.
We are going to interview the 4 captains of the main 4 men's 11s to begin with, anyway. And I'm here with Andy Brooks, who's the new captain of the 4th 11. Andy.
Hi, John.
If you're going to be captain, what do you think are the key things that a captain has to bring to not just an 11 generally, but the 4th 11 in particular? Would you say?
Well, I suppose with the 4th 11, it's a mixed bag, isn't it, of sort of players that are sort of on their sort of journey downwards from past glories.
And, I don't think I ever made a journey upwards.
and the youngsters coming up. So it's still being able to give people a game of cricket, on a Saturday afternoon, and also bringing the youngsters through, and it's that sort of like migration of the two, really, and it's so I think it's a sort of it's managing that blend, I think, really, and making sure everyone at the end of the day everyone gets a game and the youngsters enjoy it. That's crucial, and also the senior players do as well. What
about in the changing room after a game? Say the games, I don't know, it's been a close fought game. What do you do? I mean, I know that each one of the captains has had a different style, as it were. We've had everything from sort of Michael Vaughan huddles and whatever. I used to do that once in a while, and it was mainly I hadn't the slightest idea why we did it. It just seemed to amuse everybody. I couldn't work it out myself.
Right.
But I mean, how do you see your own style, and how would you impose it upon?
Well, I used to captain the 2s a few years ago, for several years. And that was probably more senior players, so the odd youngster coming through, but the youngster probably would be of an age. So it's going to be a little bit different this year in the 4s, because I think that the youngsters will be of a younger makeup. So I'm just looking to make sure that they're all enjoying their cricket and all want to be there, and some of them want to be with their friends and play with their friends, and that would be great. If we can get 2 or 3 or 4 of the youngsters coming through, they sometimes it's quite daunting if you're a youngster playing in a senior. I did it years ago, and you're not too sure of yourself and what to say and stuff, and it's nice to get them involved. And I think if there's more of them there as well, so if there's a few of them, they'll form their own little groups and stuff, and hopefully enjoy the cricket and be the future stars for Bellevue Green in years to come.
Of the different, what would you say? You've seen enough cricket. I think you and Dom are amongst our longest serving players. You must be close to it, I would have thought.
We're both 61 this year, Dominic and I, and we both started playing when we were 14, which was that 70, 75, I think we first, 74, 75, we first started playing, so yeah, been around a while.
Well, it seems to me the essence of captaincy in the 4s was firstly tactical, and I hadn't the slightest idea of how to do that. So I used to get everyone together in a huddle and just tell them to scatter, so just until it looked about right. And the great thing is that you can also play around and you do. You can move somebody one metre to the right, and they take some spectacular catch the next over. You look like a tactical genius, and you don't have to do it again. But look, It's okay. Let me give you a couple of hypothetical situations.
Go on then.
Youngster who desperately wants to be an opener. Old hand who is very definitely able, as it were. You put them together. What does the old hand say to the youngster? Not a ball faced yet. What would you do in that situation? Tell them. What do you tell them?
To talk to each other. To hopefully the youngster will learn, because obviously they won't have played a lot of cricket. Especially in league cricket, it's a little bit different. So hopefully they can sort of learn and sort of gel with each other really and enjoy it. I mean, the whole essence of it, John, is it's at the end of the day, it's village cricket. We're playing Division 11 Sussex League cricket. And it's all about enjoyment, and everybody needs to enjoy it. Everybody needs to get something out of it, and I think it would be great, for the youngsters and the seniors to sort of be playing alongside each other. I think it's great for both of them.
I think it is on occasion. I think it's very. I mean, you have to contrive it to some extent, but I think when you get fathers and sons playing together, Jacob and I did that on a couple of occasions, and I think you were present at one of them actually. We were playing an away game against Yolding.
Okay.
Yolding. They had Sophie Bowen was playing. That was when I got my high score, but the best thing was I batted with Jacob, and I really absolutely loved it.
Oh, well, I'm sure you did.
And he told me exactly what to do. He said, "Don't just pay attention." He said, "Watch each ball as it comes on. Don't play the next ball. Play the next ball rather than."
Well, I don't think you can beat that. I don't think you can beat playing with your kids, because I remember with Ashley coming up through the ranks. And as I was sort of drifting down from the ones, the twos, etc., I think I was playing a game of the twos when I was batting. I think I was opening, and I think I was on about 40 odd. And Ashley came out to bat with me, and Ashley was probably 14 maybe.
I think I still saw that game. I think it was up at the ground.
No. This was away, and he came out and he just sort of broken into the twos. And he came out to bat with me, and I was on, and then I got to about 47, and I hit a 6 to get my 50 with Ashley, and he walked up to me and cuddled me, and I jokingly said to him, "What are you doing? You're supposed to punch gloves, not cuddle me." But just being out there with him, was just to share. Nice moments like that. I think it's great for any.
Well, you can. I mean, one of my absolute favourite moment in the fours was against Buxted Park. Jacob got a hat trick in that game,
right?
And I was fielding at slip. Yeah. And first ball clean bowled, second ball clean bowled. The third ball, I was thinking to myself all along, "Oh God, please don't make
come
this.
To me.
Don't come to me. I really don't want this."
Yeah.
I don't want to be the boy, and he didn't. He was another in-swing and bowled him.
Brilliant.
I remember the team because all of them ran in, picked Jacob up, and threw him up in the air.
Yeah.
It was just. I wish there'd been cameras there to capture it. And it's moments like that, I think, that you get more probably in the fours than any other team. I think.
And the thing with me this year, John, I want to do my little bit down the fours. As I say, it'd be nice to bring the youngsters on and play with some of my mates that I probably haven't played with. That I've been in the same club with them for 40 years, but I haven't necessarily played cricket with them. So, which is going to be nice. But it's going to be nice to do that. I do miss not getting to see Ashley play, because I like, I'd like to play cricket because the whole time I can, but I still like to go and watch, Ashley play. In a few games, so I can't have both. But the whole time that I can still play, I just the whole time that's got blood coursing through my veins, I still want to be trying to play cricket to some degree.
Well, I tell you, I mean, given the chance, I would love to. But I mean, I entertained this idea that I might actually have a play cricket again, but
you got some kit, didn't you? You turned up at that reputable shop in Southborough. I heard.
Yes, so I did. And what shop would that be, please, Andy? I can't remember its name.
It's run by Arkwright, I think. Arkwright Stores in Southborough High Street.
That's the one. Yeah, I remember.
The funniest thing, can I just say, the funniest thing I remember about Dom's opening of that shop was that him and Linda, the very first day of trading, they both parked their cars in the car park in Southborough by the fire station. And you have an hour free parking.
Yeah.
And after the hour, you buy a ticket and you get your first hour free. But then beyond that, you have to pay. Buy a thing. They didn't realise that. They thought it was free parking all day. Both of them parked their cars there. Both of them got fined.
Probably
and
more than the takings.
I feel that's the point. I think their net results on their opening day was a negative. Because it was all paid in car park fines. I did find that quite amusing.
One of the things which I always used to find in the Falls was that occasionally you'd get one or two people, not our team, of course, because we religiously against sledging in any form. Even though we did have an Australian wicketkeeper at one stage, I believe. What was he? Went on to make wine, I think, didn't he?
Mr. Squires.
Mr. Squires, indeed.
Yeah, indeed. Yes.
He was, in fairness, a very fine wicketkeeper, and he was only in the Force for a handful of games because eventually, inevitably, people found out that he could actually play the game. So
his two boys weren't too bad either.
They were.
They're good cricketers.
I think I probably ran them out as well. Wasn't it? Connor was one.
Connor, yeah. And Ryan was the younger one, wasn't he? Connor, yeah.
You said you see these players. I remember. There are all sorts of players who, as you say, have given up or whatever. And but this season we've had a resurgence, haven't we? We've had a few of the people back from the dead, as it were, to play cricket. It's we're not going to mention any names. Well, I'm not, but
no. Yeah, well, so once you've given up playing, it's you've given up, haven't you? It's not if you can still play, even if it's just playing, the odd game or something.
This is what Chris Fox said to me. He said, at our age, he says, when you give up, you're gone. He says, so don't.
Yeah, if you can still get a few, even if it's just a few games or something, because as we're getting older, we're all aching and creaking and stuff, but. If you can manage yourself, and that might be my role this year, John, in the Fours. It might be that I can't play every week because I've got a half artificial knee and I'm old, carrying a bit of weight. I might not be able to play every week, but it would be nice. What it would be nice is to actually identify someone else down there that has a potential leadership role and is keen to want to progress and stuff, and I can work with them and nurture them, and then. I don't have to play every week and stuff, so I can maybe flip. The nice thing about Cowsley, where we play at Cowsley Wood, is that I can flip to Belgian Green. Yeah. So I could be coming down and watching the Fours play at Cowsley Wood, jump in the car 10 minutes up the road. I'm watching Ashley play at.
That's what I do. Most Saturdays I'll do exactly that and just wander up to both grounds.
That's the good thing about us, isn't it? We can, and a lot of people do that. Mitch, our previous. President was always flying around all over the place, and a few other people did the same thing, and that's I think that's what Belgian Green's all about. I think we are really I've said to Deb over the years is that a lot of our friends and acquaintances over the years have all been forged playing cricket at Belgian Green. Long-standing friends.
It's exactly the case. I always have people who say to you, are they friends or cricket friends? I said, they're just friends. You don't distinguish. It's the nature of the game, I think it does. Without sounding, like a sort of Mr. Chips, as it were, cricket is a character-building game, I think.
Well, that's the interesting point, isn't it? Because I think it's a good sort of process to learn how to deal with people as well as situations that you don't always get. Dealing with cricket, dealing with certain issues, dealing with people, dealing with circumstances and situations that arise. I think it's quite a good sort of grounding.
I think it's a managerial training ground. It really is. Handling people, trying to persuade. When you have one of the youngsters, batsman, goes out first ball duck. You put him in because he wanted to go at the top of the order. He wanted to bat. So you then have by the end of the game, you're getting towards the end of the game. He wants to bowl because he hasn't had a bat. Now you think, well, okay, you had the opportunity, you didn't make the most of it. So what do we do here? Opposition team needs 30 to win. His first over goes for 18. Do you give him a second over? I don't think you do. But do you see what I mean? But at the same time, you then made an enemy for life. It's a very, very, very difficult one. I'll give you that situation because that's what I did, and I made a mess of it.
I think you have and you haven't, John. I think it would be a brave move to put that lad on to bowl, but I think you just have a conversation afterwards and say, look, you know, I didn't bring you on to bowl and stuff. You know, I think it's, you know, we talked about communication earlier on. I think it's also pertinent in, you know, with your players, isn't it? About talking to them. Don't just play the game and say, right, everyone's down the pub. You know, talk to individuals. You know, if certain individuals say didn't perform on the day or couldn't or had a bad, you know, sometimes you get a bad umpiring decision. You get a
usually by me actually.
You get a bad ball that shoots along the ground. You're out, and you're a batsman, and that's your day over.
Yeah.
You know, and that person says, oh, cricket. You know, I've given up my whole afternoon. Well, you've got to love the game to want to turn up the following week, and a lot of people do. So I think, you know, it's talking about something.
Your memory's short on it. So you forget the bad innings fairly quickly.
You know, I see that as one of my roles is that putting my arm around people and saying, look, you know, just encouraging them and making sure they enjoy it, and you know, if they get a bad experience on that day for whatever reason, try and turn it round, you know, for the next week.
We're talking about communication, and I think that's probably a good point for us to conclude on. But I wanted to ask you one specific question. We're always looking to encourage bowlers, and for instance, and I mean, bowlers for one, but players in general. But where would you put the line? When does encouragement tip over into sledging? Do you see what I mean? In the sense that you can say, oh, you know, I think we're going to get this guy next ball, right? You know, or things like that. When does it turn over that? You know, just a little bit beyond simple conversation or encouragement to a player. I don't know myself. I just often wonder.
Well, I'm not sure. I've never really been I've kept wicket for many years, and you know, wicket keepers tend to be chirpy, and I've done my fair share of chirping, but it's never gone over the line. It's never been, you know, I've played in lots of games where there's been lots of, you know, silliness going on, but I've never stepped over the line on it, and I wouldn't feel comfortable doing it, and I don't feel comfortable when people in my team do it either. You know, I played in a game once with various characters in there, and they called it Zipgate because I just kept telling our lads to zip it. I just kept going like that, so all of them were saying, they kept going like that. Just don't, you know, you're pushing it too far. There's no need for it.
I was used to think it was inversely reflected on people's talent. It was only it always seemed to me sledging is what you do if you can't get people out through your own ability.
I think it's quite good.
It's a gesture of despair, really.
Yeah, well, yeah. I think it's part of the game, isn't it? I think I think sometimes you do it. I mean, I'm not saying I've never said a few things. I haven't, but there'd have been things like, oh, he's only got one shot, or you know, he can't play that shot. But stick it out off stump, he'll hole up. You know, he can't cut along the floor. So you'll say things just to get it in there.
Freddie Flintoff telling Tino Best.
Tino, yeah. Mind the windows, Tino. It's that sort of thing. And what did Tino do? He got out. You know?
Exactly.
So you know, you can play mind games, but do it in a nice way, so that you know you can shake hands with the guy at the end of the game, and you know.
We'll end on one final critical question.
Go on then.
It always seems to me that part of in the fours, particularly the captaincy role, is as much about making sure that the tea is a good one. Now, so I'm going to ask you a critical question.
Ooh.
Victoria Sponge or fruitcake?
Fruitcake.
There we go.
Fruitcake.
Thank you, Andy Brooks.
Thank you, John Stanford. Cheers, John.